What's going on, everyone? So the San Antonio Spurs and Julian Champagnie, I really do like. I was really impressed with Julian and what he did with the preseason games and how he really started to look like he was coming into his own a little bit here. And then the big question that I saw from a lot of Spurs fans were like, what can you do in the regular season? Every preseason he does this. He's trash, he's this. Saw a couple Spurs fans that were genuinely excited for what they've seen with Champagnie. But kind of been a mixed bag. And we get the first game of the season in a loss to Dallas, which was very unfortunate. But you saw Julian Champagnie play exactly how you need him to play for him if he wants to stay in that starting three spot. And he's the guy that I think makes the most sense, if I'm being honest. So you look at Julian Champagnie, in 27 minutes of action, he gave you 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 7 of 12 from the field, 4 of 8 from 3, had 2 blocks, a steal, and 3 turnovers with only 1 personal foul. So he defended without fouling. San Antonio wasn't great defensively this game, in particular against Dallas. But you look at Julian Champagnie, what he gave you is exactly what he did the entire preseason. Shot incredibly well, rebounded the basketball, made plays for others, and played some solid defense. And he was getting after it. And his size, his length, his versatility, you're talking about a guy that's 6'7", 6'8", right? He's long, he's lengthy, can basically defend 1 through 4. And you look at kind of his versatility and potential capabilities, right? I really think that he's more likely than not your answer at the 3, which is kind of the one position you can make an argument you need, right? Because, you look at the future of the Spurs. You have, obviously, Victor Wembanyama. After that, you have Stephon Castle, who is supposed to develop into your starting point guard, which, by the way, he, in 18 minutes of action, gave you 8, 3, and 5 on 3 of 7 from the floor. That wasn't too bad with only 2 turnovers. But, right, you got Stephon Castle, Victor Wembanyama. You got Devin Vassell, who is basically your point shooting guard and then your center. All right. Then you look at kind of the 2 forward positions. And the San Antonio Spurs absolutely love Jeremy Sohan. And he's the guy that San Antonio is more likely than not going to continue to play at the starting position. And he was really good. 18 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 of 11 from the floor, and 1 of 2 from 3. But the Spurs just seem enamored with Jeremy Sohan. Right? So, okay, let's say Sohan's your 4. The one position that you need for the long term is the 3. Well, if Champagnie can continue to play to the level in which you're seeing him play right now, that is fantastic. And another big thing, right, is I talked about this in the offseason, like when Champagnie was doing so well and showing what his capabilities are. Right now, you have the luxury of the get out if you need to card because of Devin Vassell, right? So Devin Vassell right now is out, and he's out till at least the end of the month. More likely, probably not going to be back till middle of November, the earliest. He's supposed to be reevaluated November 1st, I believe it is. But the kind of thing that you have with Pop is you can talk to him and be like, hey, we're going to start you until Vassell gets back. And then let him go out there and hoop. And if he can't be consistent, I'm not saying he has to give you 18, 7, and 3. Because obviously, you have Barnes and Chris Paul and Wemby and, Keldon Johnson, I imagine, is going to have better games, and Stephon Castle, right? And then when Devin Vassell gets back, he's going to be your primary scoring option alongside Wemby. But, if it's more if, Champagnie can consistently give you just all of the things that he's shown, right? Give you double-digit scoring, grab a handful of rebounds, handful of assists, play some solid defense, right? Well, then now it's like, okay, well, we're going to keep you in the starting lineup. And you could always move Harrison Barnes to the 4. And you could go something like, Chris Paul, Vassell, Champagnie, Barnes, and Wemby, right? But if Champagnie isn't able to maintain this, and he isn't able to keep this up, and he does continue to have his struggles, well then fine, you still have a get-out-of-jail-free card also, because now what you can do is you can just bring Champagnie back to the bench, and without killing his confidence, just be like, hey buddy, like we said, until Vassell got back, you're coming off the bench now because he's back. So you're in this position where it's kind of a win-win for you because you have an inherent get out if need be. But if Champagnie continues to perform and play to the level in which we've seen, you're going to have to keep him in the starting unit. I mean, granted, you could argue the same thing if Jeremy Sohan continues to perform the way that he performs, but the difference is that Champagnie gives you the 3-point shooting, especially the percentage he's shooting. Like, the guy has been shooting lights out in preseason, and now in the first game of the regular season, I'm not expecting him to shoot 40% or 50% from 3. But can he be a 40% 3-point shooter this year? If he can, then watch out, right? Like, because he might be, like, they may have legitimately found their 3-and-D wing. They may have legitimately found a sizable forward that can defend multiple positions, knock down the 3 ball with some regularity, but also put the ball on the deck and make plays for himself as well as others. That's huge. And he's still very young. He's still 23 years old, right? Like, so he's a guy that I really could see taking some significant strides this year. He might be the kind of breakout for the Spurs that the Spurs really need for their future. And then, like I said, now you got basically your starting 5 locked up for the next 20 years if you really need to, and you can kind of take your time growing and developing this team. You can take your time kind of growing and developing this roster. And if Champagnie does continue to emerge, right, well then you also now have the luxury of, like, if in a pinch you needed to trade somebody, or let's say that star becomes available that you want to kind of expedite, right? So where, maybe you have to throw in a Devin Vassell or something. Well, it's like, okay, well, we still have Champagnie, who, again, you can slot him 2 through 4 if you really needed to. Because, again, he's 6'7", 6'8" in size, just gives you that versatility. But in general, I just, it's very impressive always to see, just the young guys kind of step up and kind of come into their own. Right? Because this is a guy that was kind of written off. This is a guy that kind of had some questions of, like, can he really be an NBA player? No, he showed some flashes. He showed some signs. But he was always kind of a guy that's like, can he be what this team needs? And you kind of look at what you got with the San Antonio Spurs this season, and it's like, okay, there might be something there. Right? And, I mean, you look at the first season, because you want to see him really take that stride. He had the 2022-2023 season, which is when he came from Philly, and he only played 17 games total that year. But with the Spurs in particular, in 15 games, he started 3, averaged 21 minutes. He shot 46% from the field on 8.5 attempts. He shot 40.7% from 3 on 5.4 attempts. And then actually took more 3s than he did 2s. And he averaged 11 points, 4 rebounds, an assist will be nice, round up an assist, half a steal, half a block. And that was in his first season with Spurs. So it was like, again, it's like, okay, there's some real promise there. Right? You could see the potential versatility. He's 21. You got to kind of give him time to kind of blossom a little bit. Then you saw last year, kind of took a little bit of a dip, right? And it was a bit disappointing. Right? He went to 36.5% from 3 on 3.7 attempts. He shot 40.8% from the field total, in which he shot 50.4% from 3, or from 2-point range. He played 20 minutes in 74 games and started 59 of them and gave you, I'll be nice, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 1.5 assists, half a steal, half a block. Right? So is he fish? See what that, like, it was a bit disappointing. It's like, okay, well, maybe he's not coming around. I don't know. So far in preseason, he's looked like a guy that's came around. He's looked like a guy, and now you get into the first game of the regular season, and again, it's one game. It is. We got to keep things in perspective here, but it was very impressive what we saw from the young man, and I'm very excited to see kind of what and how he shapes up. But anyway, again, how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below, because this is a question. What do you think? Do you like Champagnie? Do you think, like, nah, he's not, he just isn't it? He's not the answer. You got to get rid of him at some point. Or do you think, no, he has the potential to be a long-term answer? Do you want to see more? Do you want to be a little more patient? Which, again, is completely understandable and justifiable. But how do you feel? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you want to like this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.